What's going on, everybody? MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time. Welcome to another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. In this episode, I speak to a brother out of Austin, Texas. This is a producer. This brother here does it all. His name, Reginald Todd. Check out this interview we did right now. What's going on, everybody? MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time with another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. And today I'm speaking to a producer extraordinaire. Well, that's what I call him, folks, because the songs I've heard were really dope. And this brother is no exception. So let me introduce to you this producing, writing, everything. Reginald Todd.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me on. First of all, let me be clear in saying that I appreciate the opportunity to use your platform to get into the homes of millions and more people. So thank you for inviting me on. I appreciate it. It means a lot.
Well, thank you for accepting the invite. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Because I'll tell you something, man. I've heard some of your stuff, bro. And yes, man, you have a skill.
Thank you.
You have a skill. You put songs together. You're like the puzzle maker. You have all these pieces lying around, pieces to a song. Folks, a song is a puzzle.
It is.
You got pieces here, pieces there, pieces everywhere.
Yep.
And it's up to the producer named Reginald Todd to put all the pieces together and make it fit.
Absolutely.
And that's what he has done. That's what he has done. And we're going to get a song today. We're going to go through a song today that he has done and written, folks. He has produced it and he wrote the lyrics. And then he had a good brother sing them. Oh, I can't wait till you hear the song, man.
Yes.
But how have you been, man? What have you been up to?
I've been great. Pandemic and all, everything is still moving forward. The song that you're just talking about is called Bless Your Soul. And it's a collaboration I did with Keith Anthony Fluitt, who lives in New York City. I've never physically met him face to face. We've always just communicated over either phone or text or email. I came familiar with him the first time on another radio show in New York, and it was myself and him and one other person that was being interviewed. And so after the show, he hit me up and said, "Hey, you want to work together?" I'm like, "Of course." So what I like about him is that I like the energy that he brings. I like the tone of his voice. I like the fact that he's professional. He's been doing this for a while. He's very easy to work with. So as long as he will work with me, I will be more than happy to work with him. He's just very, very easy to work with. And he's a good guy, good heart. You can tell that he's not just about getting what he can get from the producer and moving on. He's about building both careers at the same time. So I appreciate that about him. He's a good guy.
That's cool, man. When did you realize you had a passion for producing?
I can tell you the exact moment, and it's going to date me, but you can see I'm already pretty old. So, so no surprises here. But 1987, American Music Awards, Janet Jackson performed Control herself, 4 dancers, 1 stage. And the reaction she got from the crowd in that moment was like, how did she, what? I want to know how she did that. And it wasn't until that moment that I really had an understanding of what a producer does until they started talking about Jam and Lewis. I'm like, well, who the hell is Jam and Lewis and why are they so important to this project? Because I always thought until that moment that if an artist releases a song, that artist wrote the music, that artist wrote the lyrics, that artist did all the stuff. It's just like Dolly Parton did all of it. Whitney Houston did all of it. Shania Twain did all of it. So I was no idea that there were producers and songwriters and other puzzle piecers in the process until Janet Jackson came out with Jam and Lewis, and they kept talking about Jam and Lewis. So that intrigued me. Like, why are producers so important? Then I started to research about what they have done with her, how they did it, what they had done in the past with Prince and The Time and Morris Day and all those people. Sounds of Blackness, SOS Band, all of that. So I wanted to do what they did. So I just started researching how to be a producer. And right about that time, my older brother, who lived in Colorado, or still does, he kind of had some musical aspirations, and he had a keyboard and a 4-track Tascam recorder and some other things. And he got married and didn't really want to do that anymore. So he just shipped all his keyboards and stuff to me at that point. So I was like, okay, this can work. So from that point on, I just really tried to hone my craft and improve and get better equipment and do more research and study and pay more attention to producers and what they do and songwriters and what they do and artists and what they do and that kind of stuff. So it just kind of snowballed from Janet Jackson 1987 American Music Awards Control from that moment. And I've been doing it ever since.
Well, I must say thank you, Janet Jackson, for doing an amazing job on the stage that day. To have Reginald Todd sit in the audience and say, dang, I got to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And you did, and you're doing it, and your music is all over the place. Yes. And I know that what I've seen on Spotify is nothing compared to the catalog of music you have out already.
Yes.
Who are your greatest influences? I know you said Janet Jackson and Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. Do you have any more?
Well, the major names like the Pharrells and the Babyfaces and Mariah Careys and the Whitney Houstons and just anyone who is not afraid to be their authentic self and put that music out there as their authentic selves. I feel like one of the things I like about Mariah is that not only is she a phenomenal vocalist, but she's a crazy songwriter. Like anyone who can use the word incandescent in a song, yeah, or iridescent, or all those words.
Suffered from alienation back in Vision of Love.
Yes.
And at that time, I thought she was talking about the movie. I didn't know she meant the actual word alienation.
Yeah, she's a beast. So artists like her, like I appreciate Ariana Grande, but I wish that she was a little bit more articulate because it's hard to understand what she's saying. And I know she's got some really good lyrics and some really good tracks, but I can't really get into the songs because it's hard to understand what she's saying. And kind of like Toni Braxton, same thing. She's very talented, but I really can't hear what she's saying. And to me, the lyrics set the journey for a song. And if you can't get into that journey, then you just left with this kind of the beat, which is not bad, but there's more to a song than just a beat, you know?
I can relate, dude. I can relate, especially with rap, man, because I'm a hip hop fan. And my thing is, if I can't understand what you're telling me, how am I going to get into the song? Yeah. Which drives me crazy on this mumble rap stuff. I mean, I'm not hating. To each his own, man. You want to make mumble rap, you don't want to say nothing, man, that's on you. Go ahead, do that. But I ain't going to listen to it because it has nothing to do with me. What has to do with me? Because I don't understand a word they saying.
Yeah.
But I tell you, people like LL Cool J, people like Notorious B.I.G. because he spoke the truth. People like Party Time Guy, my man that passed away recently, Biz Markie.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
People like him, those people, I'm digging the vibes, you know?
Yeah.
And because I like hip hop that tells me a story. You know, that's because, like you said, that's how you got to understand and hear the lyrics so you can follow along. Like Michael Jackson said, there's a beginning, there's a middle, there's a bridge, and there's an end.
Yes.
And if you can tell me where I'm going, like Michael McDonald could never tell me where I was going. You know, I mean, he sounded good at what he was saying, but I didn't understand a word he was saying.
Yeah, I love Michael McDonald, but he has a tendency to not be as clear as he could be. But I love him.
Yeah, he had that song with Patti LaBelle, and then I'm like, Patti LaBelle did a thing on it, but he did his thing too. But I just was like, where is he going with this?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Patti LaBelle is a beast. Even now, at her age, she's still a beast. Like doing it better than most of these young girls will ever do. So yeah, I understand what you mean by that.
Yes, but you're not in the studio producing. What do you do?
I like to relax and watch forensic shows. I'm all about crime shows and forensic shows. I just like the science of it. I like not so much the murder or the chaos of it, but how they sift through all of that and figure out what the hell happened here. Why is this blood over here? Why is this phone call happening this time? Why is this person over here and they should be over here? Just figuring out how to piece all that together like a producer, I guess. Just intrigued me. How do you solve that problem, and what means are at your disposal to solve this issue? That's just
so if you weren't a producer, you'd be a forensic pathologist. I mean, you'd be like a CSI guy.
I think I might be. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I just like that. I like solving problems, resolving issues. That's just always been my thing.
It makes sense why you excel at producing, because when you have an idea of a song, here's a lie on the problem, because you got just an idea. So now you have to figure out how to piece these ideas and make it one solid, cohesive unit.
Yes.
And what makes it a perfect song.
Yes.
And you've been doing that very well. You started with like the song Bless Your Soul, where you have Keith Anthony Fluitt doing his thing. Can you tell us the idea, where it came from, how this song came about?
Some random reason the phrase "bless your soul" popped into my head, and immediately I thought Keith, because I knew the direction I wanted to go. I knew I wanted it to be campy, clubby, high energy, just danceable, and I knew that as a vocalist I couldn't deliver that, and I know my limits, but I knew that he could. So I wrote the song initially thinking I might sing it myself, but then I'm like, nah, this is killing the song. I need somebody else who's much better than me to sing this. So I reached out to him, and he was like, yes, send me the track. And he learned it and sent me the vocals back, and I processed them and sent it out. And then that's kind of what we ended up with. And I ended up doing an original version and then a remix, clean and explicit version.
Bless Your Soul. Can you tell us the story of the song?
Yes. Billy Porter had been kind of resonating with me, even to a point where I sent him a direct message on Instagram, which is something I've never, ever done. Just letting him know that I had a song that was inspired by him. I felt like if he were to sing it, it would certainly be right in his alley. It would not be something that would be a big divergence for him. It would be right in his comfort zone. So I knew that Keith could deliver that energy, that same Billy Porter energy. And he did. He knocked it out of the box. It's basically a song about being in a club as a gay man, being approached by another gay man who won't take no for an answer. So you think that you got it like that, basically coming up to me all in my face in the club and I'm paying you crack, but you won't leave. Bless your soul, basically. So that's kind of the concept of where the song is going. And I felt like it needed to happen because you don't really have a song like that from a gay man's perspective. You have Beyonce's with put a ring on it kind of thing. And you have different artists in a heterosexual kind of vibe saying, get out of my face, basically. But you didn't have a song from a gay artist saying that same thing. And I just felt like it was time. And so when I went into that writing process, I knew that this was going to be a song unlike any other one because of that subject matter. And I sent it to Keith. He loved it and recorded it, and the rest is history.
And the rest is history, folks, as they say. So you could go on all platforms and tap into this song from Keith Anthony Fluitt and Reginald Todd. It's called Bless Your Soul. I'm talking Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, Pandora, Deezer, and my favorite place, iHeartRadio. I'm telling you something, folks. When you tap in to Reginald Todd, this is what you're going to say. These are the exact words. Damn, MC Angela, you did it again. You done told me to go tap into Reginald Todd and Keith Anthony Fluitt, and we did, and guess what? They're dope. Just like you said they would be. You're dang right they're dope. So make sure you tap in. Yes. So without further ado, I'm going to play a little snippet of the song Bless Your Soul by Reginald Todd and Keith Anthony Fluitt.
Thank you, sir.
tolerate you in my days. I will not tolerate you in my
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm just like that. I'm just like that.
Well, folks, you hear that beat? That's all Reginald Todd right there. It's all Reginald Todd. That's all him.
Yes.
If you want to hear the rest of this, folks, you know what you got to do. You know where you got to go. You got to go press play, because when it's streaming going on, Reginald Todd is in the middle of it.
Yes.
Can you tell us some of your experiences that you've had since you've been producing?
Oh man, I've had a little bit of everything. I worked with a lot of local artists in New York when I lived there. I worked with some local artists in Atlanta when I lived there. I was there in Atlanta for about 14 years, then New York for about 10, and then I came back here to Austin. Most of the experiences were pretty mundane, but I've learned that it's the difficult experiences that made me grow more as a producer. Because when you have that difficult artist who maybe isn't the best vocalist or didn't deliver the energy that you wanted, you have to figure out in your producer's capacity how to get around that, how to make that sound better, even though the artist didn't quite deliver what you wanted. So in those moments, I feel like I've grown the most as a producer, because I'm learning new tricks and how to get around certain things, certain limitations of an artist. So we all kind of want the simple artist to come in and do great things and then leave, but then I feel like you don't really learn that much as a producer when it's that easy. It's quicker. Yeah, we all want that. But I feel like from a producer standpoint, it's the difficult ones that teach you more, because you have to get in and figure out how to make it work. You just have to. You can't, it's not as professional, basically, to say, thanks for coming in and doing those vocals, but I can't use them. It happens. And in extreme situations, of course, it would happen if you feel like it's detrimental to the song altogether. But I feel like if that artist doesn't quite deliver what I wanted, for whatever reason, then it's incumbent upon me to fix it, make it better, find some tricks, do some new things, add some things that you wouldn't have done before, step out of your comfort zone and make this person sound better than they thought they could. To a point where, true story, I had an artist in New York who wasn't the greatest vocalist, but in his mind, he thought he was the greatest. And after polishing his vocals and doing all those tricks that I learned, he was convinced that he was the one singing all those notes, but he wasn't. It was Melodyne, it was auto-tune, it was a whole bunch of things, vocal effects and a whole bunch of things that were making him sound better or making the reality match what he had heard in his brain. So at that point, he was like, oh my God, I'm the best person ever. And it kind of, he kind of went out in the world thinking something he shouldn't have been thinking. But as a producer, that was my job. I didn't want to turn him away and say, I can't help you, which was my initial thought, because it was kind of that bad. But after kind of doing some research and figuring out how can I make this sound professional, it worked. And I had him convinced that he had done all the tricks that I had done for him. So, and in that moment, I had learned so many things that I hadn't thought that I would learn or didn't think that I needed to know. But had I not had that experience with him, I wouldn't have known those things. And I feel like those are the kind of moments that make me personally grow as a producer, as a songwriter, as a friend. So those kind of things really helped me.
That's dope, man. I'm digging the vibes, especially when it comes to music, because you don't want to just give out a half-ass track. You don't want to do that. And you don't want to give the artist the product and it's not done. It's like, I can't do this to this dude. But I know some artists, that thought they were the cat's meow, and even auto-tune couldn't save them. Come on, you got to have a base, at least a base of okayness to get auto-tune to work.
Yes.
Stop using auto-tune, people. It sucks.
It's not
if
helpful.
You can't sing on your own without auto-tune, if you can't even hold a note, why the fuck are you in the damn studio? I gotta ask you these questions, man, because this is what's happening in 2021. People went gung-ho, they got these phones, and every phone got a freaking app. And so everybody thinks they can sing. Yep. Everybody thinks they can rap. because you got your phone telling you, great job, MC Andrew Love. Great job.
Right.
You sound so good today.
Mm-hmm.
In essence, I sound like a freaking horse. Really. Don't lie to me, phone. Don't lie to me.
Right. You're not
your phone
doing
is equivalent to having yes men.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to have somebody like Reginald Todd in the studio and say, huh? Where are you going, man? Well, I'm done for the day. I did a great job. I sound excellent. Oh, no, you don't, brother. You need to get back in the booth. We're not done yet, bro. We got to do some doubles and triples, and we got to, just go ahead and say those lines again. Say it again like you mean it this time. Did you write those lyrics? Yes, I did write these lyrics, sir. Well, let me see these lyrics, because I believe that if yeah, okay. So now we got to redo it because this sucks.
Yeah.
Now you wouldn't say that to them, but I would.
It's funny you say that though, because one of the pivotal moments for me as a producer happened in Atlanta. It's probably about 94-ish, 95. I was in a group as a vocalist, and I was also contributing some production. And one of the founders of the group listened to my production and said, "What the fuck is what is this? Are you serious right now?" No. And in that moment, I was crushed because I was like, this is the shit. My mom likes it. You're going to like it. So when she told me that, I had to lick my wounds and like, okay, in the grand scheme of things, she's right. Now that she's pointed out the specifics and I got past the fact she said, what the fuck is this? I've had to listen and really take stock of what she was telling me. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm never going to have that happen to me ever again. I'm never going to walk into a situation and have somebody say, this is the word. Take this demo tape, get the hell out of my face. And I ran into that person. Her name is Katrina C. Willis. And she's still recording and writing now today.
Yo. This brother Reginald Todd just airdropped her name to us, folks.
But she changed my life. And I saw her a couple of years later and I at a seminar. And I went to that seminar just to thank her for giving me the truth. Because when you're stuck in that bubble of playing songs for your mama and your uncle and your cousin and your best friend and your lover and all, they're going to give you positive feedback, whether you've earned it or not. She was the first one who said, nah, I know where you were going with this, but you ended up here. You're supposed to go over here, and none of this is in between is working. So I hated her in that moment for saying it. But after I licked my wounds and realized, yeah, she's right. It changed everything for me. And I'm not the type of person who is comfortable with getting a critique and then saying, well, you just don't know music, that kind of thing. Like those people who get voted off of American Idol. Yeah, I can sing. You haven't heard of Last of Me. I'll be back. I'm not that person. So when somebody tells me something, I consider it a challenge. Like you're not going to tell me that ever again. I'm going to step up my game and get to the point where you can't critique me like that anymore. So like I said, in those moments where you want the best to happen, but it doesn't, those are the moments where you grow. I feel like you grow as a producer or a songwriter or whatever industry you're in. If someone tells you you can't do it or you're doing a bad job, you should want to step up your game, period.
Well, that's dope, man, because you're different, man. Some people wouldn't even have looked at it as that way. They'd get upset. They probably would have said something to her. Like, I don't know what the heck you talking about. What you just heard is a masterpiece. At least according to my mama. You know what? I think you just hating on me, lady. It was nice meeting you, nice knowing you, but you don't know me. I'm out of here. Right. Some people would probably go that route. But you're a professional. So you're like, all right, I'll take that. And I go home and I'll fix all these things that you had said to fix. And then you go home and fix it, and everything is peaches and cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, but you took that advice and you ran with it. Some folks don't do that. Some folks get good criticism and just take it personal. And then they continue to try to do the same shit because all their homies in the neighborhood say, yo, that shit is dope. You're a dope, ill rapper, man. You need to keep recording. You need to go to the studio because you're dope. Listen, folks, what you sound like in the shower is not the same thing as what you would sound like on stage. Yes. And what you sound like in the studio is not the same thing as if you would sound like on stage. You hear I said stage twice.
Yes.
Because that's the key thing. Everybody should want to get on stage, and that's how you make your money. Mm-hmm. You make your money by selling merch, but you can't sell no merch if people don't know you. And if you got a terrible voice and you don't learn how to sing, here's the thing. Everybody can learn how to sing. Anybody can learn how to rap. Like somebody can actually sit there and teach you how to do these things. Mm-hmm. If you're open up to learn. Yes. But no one can teach you how to emote. No one can teach you how to bring your feelings into a lyric. Somebody can teach you how to sing. You sing real well. I know this girl, she was on American Idol. She sounded so great, but she had no stage presence, folks. So you can have a dope sound. You can sound the best there is. But if you don't have a stage presence, nobody's going to want to see you perform. Because they don't want to see a statue. They want to see somebody actually giving a fuck about their craft.
Exactly. Amen. Yes.
Do you have any advice for the youngins that are coming up that want to do what you're doing?
I do. I spend a lot of time trying to be the next best version of somebody that was already out there. Waste of time. Don't do it. Figure out who you are as an artist first, and then add that commercial, what's happening now thing to who you are. Don't be someone else. We have someone else already. We have the Janet Jacksons and the Mariahs and the James and Lewis and the Pharrells and all these producers. And we have them already. It's one thing to be current sounding. It's another thing to be a copy of. And I spent a lot of time trying to be a copy of somebody who was already successful. And primarily because I was told that, like, you need to sound like, put this sound in your songs like so-and-so is doing, and you're going to have a hit. So I spent a lot of time trying to be a different version of somebody else instead of the best version of me, because there's only one me. If I fine tune who I am as an artist, a producer, a lyricist, a songwriter, all of that stuff, and I am secure 100% in what I'm bringing to the table as Reginald Todd, nobody else. Then nobody else can check me for that. They might not like it, but they can't say, we can't do anything with this, because you know who you are. Either you're on board with me as I am, or you aren't. So do not waste time trying to be a replication of someone who already exists. It's a waste of time. And secondly, really short, you never are ever going to be to the point where you know everything. It's impossible. So if somebody tells you you need to brush up on this part, or do better on this, or improve this, nod and say yes, lick your wounds, and go do that. Because you're never going to be the person who knows everything all the time, everywhere. It's impossible. There's always room to grow. There's always room to expand, step out of your comfort zones, do different genres you normally wouldn't do, grow, evolve, educate. The more you know about life, the more you can put into your art. If you're in a little box all the time and you only see one little aspect of your life, you're limiting yourself as a human and as an artist. We need to know how much you can bring to a table. If you're a producer and someone says, I like your hip hop tracks, but can you do big band? And you say, no, you missed an opportunity. You need to explore all of that. Big band, country, hip hop, R&B, pop, dance, all of it. Explore all of it all the time. And then take the elements of all those different things that you've learned and craft your sound. The more you know, the better you are, period. The more you know, the better you are. So educate.
That's dope, man. I'm digging the vibes. Thank you for that advice, because it makes a lot of freaking sense. Because there's so many biters out here in today's music. I mean, come on. I remember T-Pain talking about that in his podcast when he was talking about, give me something different. Give me something different. I already have a future. I don't need another one. Yeah. Give me something that I haven't heard before.
Exactly.
Especially when you're a rapper, folks. When you're a rapper, you got to think outside the box, because we've heard everybody so far, but we haven't heard you. So why don't you bring your authentic self out and come to the table, man? Meet us at the dance floor and let's see what you got. Because all it takes is trying, man. Just put effort into it. Because, you might just be that next person that may change some things in the hip hop industry.
Yeah.
Don't give up on yourself, but don't expect us to think that you're the best, because it takes time for that. You have to earn that.
Yes.
Some of the artists that you see now that are just coming up, been doing it for years. I'm talking 10, 15, 20 years. They've been doing a lot of practicing, blood, sweat, and tears, going to shows, getting rejected. Yep. All that stuff is part of the music industry.
Yes.
But because they kept going at it and they kept doing it and they kept doing it and they made it, they just kept doing it until they got better at it. And now some folks can sing easily without even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And some folks like Reginald Todd can make a production, make a beat. Doesn't matter what type of song it is. He can just make a beat when he's sleeping, folks. That's how Reginald Todd is. Yeah. That's how much he works. He don't even be in the studio. He makes a beat in his dreams. Then he wakes up in the morning out of just sheer, programming. He goes right to the studio. He's like, oh, yeah, I got to make this. And he does what he does on the computer. And there you go. You have a song. That's Reginald Todd for you, man.
Yeah.
Do you have any burning desires?
I have a burning desire to work with Janet Jackson.
But she's still alive, so you got a chance to do that, man.
I would love to work with her, and I would love to collaborate with Jam and Lewis. I just would. That's always been my dream. From the moment I became passionate about producing, I would want to work with them. I would love to. So I'm going to keep putting that out there in the universe, and hopefully it'll come back to me.
Well, I'm going to just say this, bro. You keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to get your dreams answered, man. Those wishes that you have to work with some professionals like Jam and Lewis and the greatest queen of all time, Janet Jackson. Yes, it's going to happen to you, man. I believe it will. I have faith in that because I know you're good at what you do. You're really good at what you're dope, man. F that. You're dope. And you're going to be making some major moves in the near future because somebody's going to take one of your songs and they're going to do some whoo to it, man. Yes, that's what's going to happen, man. I'll tell you this. Oh, yeah. America, the world, it is I, MC Andrew Love. It's Let's Chat and Jam. And this is my friend right here, Reginald Todd. He's come here to talk about his music, his productions, and everything he does with it. Because this brother here, as I said earlier, is a puzzle maker. He sees all these pieces. Here's the problem. How do I put all these pieces together? But with practice makes perfect. And that's what he's been doing all his life, folks. He's just been practicing his craft. And he gets better every time he makes another song. And I recommend every artist who's looking for a producer who needs that specific sound to touch base with Reginald Todd because he has that. He has those intangibles that you're looking for. And of course, if you're looking for somebody who can add that flavor, I'll tell you that flavor, that sauce, that pizzazz. You know when a song, or I don't even want to say a song, when that cake just has that taste, you just don't know how it got there. You just know that this cake was, oh my God. Yes. But that is Reginald Todd's music, folks. It's like cake because it's good. It tastes delicious. You don't know how it got there, but he added the right amount of seasons. He added the right amount of sugar and all this other stuff, and it just was perfection at the end. And that's Reginald Todd, folks. That's what he is. You might as well call him Chef Reginald Todd, I tell you that. Because this brother here can make a song as if he's in the kitchen.
I like that. Thank you.
Yes, I'm telling you something, folks. You got to tap into Reginald Todd. You got to. Because this brother here has got music for everybody. And I'm not talking just lyrics, folks. If you like classical music, well, he's got you. Because this brother can make classical music too. This brother can do it all. Yeah. And I'm thankful that you had the time to come to Let's Chat and Jam. I'm thankful that you had the time to speak to us and be open with us. And I really do appreciate you as an artist. So as a fan of music, I must say thank you. Thank you for making the music that makes me want to dance. It's hard to find an artist that could really bring it all home to me. But that is what you have done. With every song that you do, doesn't matter if it's a heterosexual song, okay, it doesn't matter. Because just the storyline makes sense. the storyline, the lyrical content, and just the roadmap you painted with your bass line makes sense.
Thank you,
So
sir.
I have to say thank you for all your hard work and what it is you're doing, because it is working.
Thank you.
So keep doing what you do. Don't ever give up.
I'm not.
Don't ever quit.
No way.
Stay going. And
Yes.
your dream of working with Janet Jackson and Jam and Lewis, it's going to happen.
From your
It's
lips
going to
to God's
happen
ears.
before you know it.
I'm gonna hold you to that. You said it.
Yeah, you tell you, and when you do see them, because it's a matter of time before somebody hits them up and says, yo, have you heard Reginald Todd? Nah, who is that? What? You ain't heard this, brother? Yo, play his music. Yo, play his music. And they're gonna play the music in front of those brothers, and they're gonna be doing one of these things. Oh, this brother got skills. Yo, get him on the phone for me, man. We want to talk to this brother, man. We want to meet him. Because they ain't got to go nowhere nowadays. They bring you to them.
Of course. Gladly.
Yeah.
If I have to walk the entire way, I'm going to be there.
Reginald Todd, I believe in you, brother. And I believe that God has got plans for you. He didn't make you for no reason. You have a purpose to be here, and your purpose is to reach the masses. And if I have anything to say about it, I'm going to help you get there. Because I really like what you're doing. I'm digging the vibes.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And since you've been here for the first time, you have now become part of the Let's Chat and Jam fam, which means you don't have to wait for me to call you up and say, hey, Reg, you want to come to the show? Nah, you can tap into my DMs and say, hey, Drew, I got a new song. I got a new book. I'm in a movie. Whatever it is you're doing, it's important to me, and I want to know about it. So tap into me. Let me know you want to come back on the show. I'll pencil you in, and I'll say, deal, you in the show. Let's go.
Yep.
That's how easy it is to get on this show when you're in the fam. Reginald Todd,
yes.
Welcome to the fam.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here. Thank you so much.
And I do appreciate you coming through here. You're one of the illest producers I've ever heard, man. You're really good, and you're on your way, brother. You are on your way to see that success that you've been praying for a long time. It's going to happen for you. It really is.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming through, and be safe out there, will you?
Pleasure. Yes, you too.
And everybody else, y'all be safe. And just remember this. If you have a dream, well, look at Reginald Todd. He had a dream, and he's making it happen. Well, you can make it happen too, because only you can stop you. And nothing beats a failure but a try. Peace out, folks.
Thank you again.
Thanks for watching. And if you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel. Also, like and share the content, as well as hit the notification icon so you don't miss a Conversation with series right here on Let's Chat and Jam.